Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video we will learn about the another two instructions, that is nothing but shell and also the work directory. So what is this shell and also this work directory? I will open the notepad so that we can have a clear understanding about this one. So now we are learning about the two instructions, that is shell and also work dir, working directory. So first let's try to learn about the shell. So now what I want to tell you is, so these two are very much important to define the environment and also the working directory for subsequent instructions. So first of all, the shell instruction. The shell instruction allows you to specify the default shell for the run commands. By default, Docker uses the sh or command on Windows as the shell for run commands. However, you can change this to a different shell or modify its behavior. For example, let's say that, so we are having some instructions, right? In the Dockerfile, we will be writing run, copy, add. These are all the commands we will be writing, right? So for these, all the things, what we will try to do here, so we will try to, so normally the Dockerfile, it will execute using the normal shell, okay? So using the normal shell, that is nothing but bin/sh, okay? Bin/sh, it will execute. So now for example, let's say that bin/sh. So now for example, let's say that you will be having some other shells like bash shell, pickle shell. So this type of shells will be there. So you will be having some other instructions, so which need to be executing that commands in a bash shell. So then we will be using this shell instruction, okay? So we will be using this shell instruction. Where we will be using this shell command is, so why? Because in Linux or any other operating system, almost all the shells are one and the same only. So bash shell and some other shells will give some more extra features or the functionalities, but most of the time all the commands execute in all the shell. Whereas in Windows only the problem comes. So which one we need to use? Whether we need to use the command or PowerShell. So if you want to use any what means, so most of the times we will try to use it in the Windows only, and in the Linux also you can use it. So that is the shell. So now when you mention the shell, for example, let's say that you are having some command, something like from Ubuntu, okay, 22.04. So normally it will execute in the bash shell. So here you will be having some run command apt-get update, let's assume, and now you want to execute this one in a bash shell. Then you will be mentioning at the top shell /bin/bash -c. You will mention it like this. And now subsequently whatever the instructions are there bottom, so after the shell command, it will be executed in the bash. So for example, if you want some other instructions, so if you want to change the shell means, again you can use the multiple shell. Again you can use the bin/sh -c. Okay, you can use it like this. So that means whatever the instructions are there after the shell command, it will be executed in the normal shell. So like this you can use the shell multiple times. So whatever the recent shell you have mentioned, in that shell only all the commands after that it will be executed. So this is about the shell instruction. And what about this work directory? So this work directory means, what it will try to do is, it is particularly, so work directory where we will be using this work directory is, it is used to set the working directory for anything constructions like copy, add, run, command, entry point. So these are all the commands you will be having it, right? So if you want to set the working directory, then we will be using this what I want to say is work directory. So this one also we can use multiple times. So whichever it will final it is there, so that one will be taken into the consideration. So I will try to show you that one working directory also in the practical. So let's try to let's try to see it in our practical thing. So here I will be having vi Dockerfile. I am using this Dockerfile, okay? So Dockerfile, I am opening this one. So here you are having run Ubuntu, right? If you want to execute, so this one, let's try to build this one, okay? So let's try to build this one. So where is the build command? Yeah, so if I try to build this one, I think most probably, so build is everything is there, I think. So if I try to build this one, yeah, we have built this one. And if you try to check the Docker image history, Ubuntu-latest, let's try to check it. Now if you try to see here, all the commands are executing using the normal bin/sh only. If you try to see here, the commands are getting executed using the bin/sh only. Now if you want to, so for example, let's say that Debian_frontend is executing that non-interactive and apt-update, it is executing in the sh. Now if I want to change this sh to the bash means, then you can use it. So here I can use this Dockerfile. So this is the command, right? Now here I can use the shell, and we need to use the exec format, and here I will be using /bin/bash. I want to execute it, and I need to provide the -c, that is nothing but the command. So that's it. So now after execution of this one, so let's try to close it and build this image. Okay, and after building that image, let's see that whether we can able to see that the Debian_frontend is executing in the bash shell or not. So now you will be able to see that this one is running in the bash. You will be able to see. So that is the reason. So it is executing it again. Previously it has executed very quickly through the cache, but here it is running. Why? Because through the bash shell it is running. Let's see that whether it is running through the bash shell or not. So it will take some time. Let it take. So this one has been executed. Now let's try to check the image history for this one. So image history, if you try to see, so now you will be able to see that, so these all Ubuntu and all those things is executing in the bash, normal shell, and now we are changing the shell to bash. Now see, you will be able to see that this one now this time this is executing in a bash shell. Previously it was executing in a normal shell. Now this time from here onwards it is executing in a bash shell. Now for example, let's say that I will go back again to the Dockerfile. So let's say that I am having another command. So something like run command. Okay, apt-get upgrade. Okay, so this is the command I am having. Let's try to close it and let's see what it will happen. So let's build the image. It will take some time to build the image. Let it build. So here it has been built. Now if you try to check the history of this one, so now you will be able to see that, so these both are executing in a bash. Why? Because I have changed the shell to the bash. Now what I want to do is, so this command should be executed in the bash shell, but whereas this upgrade command should be executed not in a bash shell, it should be executed in a normal shell. So then what you can do it is, so let's go to the Dockerfile, and here I can change it again. Okay, here I can change it again, that I need to change the shell to /bin/sh, and I am changing it to normal shell. So whatever the commands are there at the bottom, it will be executed using the normal shell. Now if you try to save it and if you build this one, okay, so now I am trying to build this one, so it may take some time. Let it take. So it has been built. Now if you try to check this one, history of this one, let's clean it up. Yeah, so now if you try to see here what it is happening, normally it is executed with a normal shell. Now I changed the shell to bash. Now this command is executing with the bash shell. Then again I changed it to normal shell. Now see, upgrade apt-get upgrade is executing using the normal shell. And at the top, so remaining commands, whatever it is there, it will execute using the normal shell only. So this is how the shell will be useful. So where we will be using the most of the times this shell command is, the shell command we will be using the most of the times is in the Windows. Why? Because here the bash shell and the normal shell or pickle shell, whatever the shell you are trying to use it, most of the time, so these all in the Linux will be one and the same only. But in the Windows only, some instructions or commands will be there which we need to execute only in a PowerShell. In the normal command line prompt, it will not execute. So in that place, we will be trying to change it to the shell. Using the shell command, we will change it to the PowerShell. So that's it guys about this shell instruction. So in the next video, I will try to tell you about this working directory also, so that you can able to understand very clearly. Hope you understood about this shell directive. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.